You know what? I called that. I called it, which is why I thought the UFC was pushing this Khamzat. They were really pushing, trying to get him to fight a top guy, either in the middleweight or welterweight division. Like, man, why are they pushing this guy so hard? And then I told my dad the other day, I was like, watch Khabib retire. They did the same thing with Darren Till when Bisping retired. They pushed him to the top. I fought him. So I kind of called it. But we were actually doing a fight party for the UFC during that fight. Still, it's like, man, is this really happening? The guy's 28. He's still young. He's got a lot left in him. But I can't imagine fighting again without my pops too. He's very close. It's just a special thing. Just a special connection that you have with your family, with your pops, stepping out there in the octagon, sharing that experience together, and him being there every step of the way, and then all of a sudden he's not. So it kind of makes sense, man. I would know what I would do if my dad, wasn't able to be out there with me anymore. I don't know if I would have that same fire without him there. It's just some kind of security that I feel with him being in my corner. So I kind of get that. I understand.
I think he'll come back for like a mega fight. He makes a lot of money fighting. Makes a lot of money. It's very hard to not jump back in the octagon for 25 minutes work, or if you're him, maybe 5 minutes work, and get paid that amount of money. Like how do you just say no to that? But who knows? He's a very accomplished man now, very successful, and and this is why I've always respected him, and why I think he's one of the best icons of the sport, is because he plays to the beat of his own drum. Like he just walks his own path, and he stays true to it. He doesn't get lured into things, doesn't get convinced or persuaded. He has his own direction, and he just walks it. And I really, really respect that. So who knows what that guy's going to do?
No, I knew he was going to do it immediately after he won that fight. I wasn't shocked by that one at all.
Surprise, and then respect, because I respect his grind. I respect his how he approaches the sport, and then a little bit of sympathy, because he lost his father, and then he brings up how his mom asked him to not fight anymore. I'm like, man, if I lost my dad and then my mom was like, yo, I don't want you doing this no more, I might do it also. Yes, I don't understand all the way, but I empathize. I really do.
No, I called it. Well, I mean, it maybe been pretty obvious when he was starting to try to take off his gloves, and I was like, oh, he's retiring. But I thought he's definitely going to want to get that roundabout number, that 30-0. It's just so tantalizing. It's right there. Why would you not just grab it? But that was a pretty boss-ass way to go out. You went and got against what was renowned as the most dangerous guy, and just to decimate him like that. It's a good time to go out. He's beating everybody. So, cool move. But he's also only like 32 years old. He's really in his prime. And so for him to go out, it doesn't really make a lot of sense either, though. He could really play around and get some badass celebrity fights and just make chingos and chingos of cash,
I wasn't that surprised, actually, but I still feel like there is 2 more fights that I really want to see. I can understand him, but as a fan, you're wondering how can he handle Ferguson's style on the ground, because even though Gaethje is a good wrestler and all that, but Ferguson do have a proper ground game to go with that, and how would that play out? Could he control him in the same way? I don't think that he would have submitted him on a triangle so quick. So that's a fight I want to see, and we're talking about that super fight with GSP, man. That would be like my dream fight. That would be amazing to see. So if you want to come back and do that would really make my my day, because that's a fight I want to see. So
I mean, there hasn't, like, it seems like with Khabib, there's been a lot of talk about him potentially retiring. I know a lot of people, like a lot of maybe superstitious or crazy OCD people, want him to get to that 30-0 because numbers, I guess, really mean a lot to certain people and records mean a lot to certain people. Regardless, I wasn't very surprised at all. He dismantled Justin, and Justin's an amazing fighter, and to see him do it that way, I really don't think he has anything left to prove. Like, he's been a competitor for so much of his life throughout sambo and judo and grappling tournaments and, the organizations he fought for before he was in the UFC. And to see him go out the way he did, I think was perfect. His father passed away, sadly, a few months ago, earlier this year. I really don't think he has anything really, like I said, he has really nothing left to prove. He's sort of, his legacy is awesome where it's at. If he wants to continue fighting, he can, I guess, but he leaving it at what he left it at, I think is perfectly okay.
I don't know. It's because of everything that happened with him. It was expected, I guess. With his dad passing away and stuff like that, it's just terrible to hear. And I think Khabib's the type of guy that's going to make a decision and he's going to stick with it. Like what he said with Conor, he'll never fight Conor again or anything like that. Like, I don't think he's going to fight Conor. I don't think he's going to come back. Once he makes his decision to do something, I think he's going to stick to it. So, would I like to see him come back? Of course, I'd like to see him fight somebody, but I don't know who challenges him, who poses a good challenge for him. He's pretty much the best fighter.
No, I understand it. Obviously, his dad passed away, and that's the guy who raised him and his mentor. You know what I mean? And so I understand. But I saw someone tweeted today, was his manager tweeted fair today. So if it looks like it's gonna come back, I'm hoping it's GSP. that'd be a sick fight. So I hope it's GSP.
Yeah, I kind of get it. So I put myself not into his situation, but in it a little bit. Like, if something ever happened to Charlie, my coach, who I've been with my whole life, who's basically gotten me to this point, I don't think I could ever fight again. So I understand that almost respect that he has for his dad to not want to step foot in the octagon again without him. So as heartbreaking as it is, because we all love watching him fight, we all love seeing him, I get it.
I don't think he has anything to prove. Everybody say he's the greatest, of the lightweight, and he's undefeated. So we all can agree he is one of the greatest fighter. But I don't know about great of all time. But today I saw something about 30-0. I think his manager put something on Twitter or something like that. So I don't think he's retired. Maybe he's gonna come back and try to make a fight with George St. Pierre. I don't really know. But to me, as a fan of the sport, I don't want to see him retire. I think he's young and he can fight, but up to him.